Hi all, I've been testing Frost DK in the War Within Mythic Plus beta dungeons, and it might be some of the most fun I've had with any spec so far. I'll get into why here soon, but I want to give you guys my honest impressions of how Frost feels to play and the hero talents, so you guys can see if this is going to be a spec for you going into the expansion in just a couple of weeks. If you guys have any questions or want to share your thoughts, leave them down below. Let's start with hero talents. We have Rider of the Apocalypse and Deathbringer, and let me just say, they are both incredible. Rider of the Apocalypse is one of the coolest designed hero talent trees in this expansion by far. You are literally calling forth the power of the 4 horsemen. Rider's champion makes it so spinning runes has a chance to call forth a horseman for 10 seconds, each one with specific perks or skills. Morgraine casts Death and Decay at his location, Whitemane does a stacking Shadow Frost dot, Trollbane casts Chains of Ice on targets to slow them and gives us a 5% damage increase to them for 8 seconds, and Nazgrim gives us a 3% strength increase from Apocalyptic Conquest. These are absolutely fantastic, and it's so cool to see them appear and fight with you in battle. I love Apocalypse Now. You call all 4 horsemen when you use Frostworm's Fury for 20 seconds, leading to a huge burst window during that time. We also get one of the coolest choice nodes in any hero talent tree. Death Charge, which replaces Death's Advance, it removes impairment effects, and we get to ride our Death Charger for 10 seconds and increases our movement speed by 100% during that time. A lot like Divine Seed for Paladin, or we get On a Paler Horse, which literally lets you mount your Death Charger in combat while outdoors. Makes leveling and outdoor content so much faster and more fun. We have quite a few other nodes in the tree that buff specific horsemen and their effects or our damage. I really like Horseman's Aid, which will put a slightly weaker AMS on us occasionally when we have a horseman out. This tree is fantastic, it's incredibly fun, very viable, and just fits Frost Death Knight so well. Deathbringer is an absolute winner too. We get Reaper's Mark, which is a new ability that allows us to slice the souls of our enemies, placing a mark on them, and when we do frost or shadow damage, the mark will stack and explode once it reaches 40 stacks. This is a super fun ability and it does great damage. Favorite part of this tree though is Exterminate. After our Reaper's Mark explodes, our next Obliterate costs no runes and summons 2 huge scythes to slice our targets in front of us and has a chance to apply Reaper's Mark again. It looks so freaking cool. One of the coolest looking abilities in the War Within in my opinion. I really like Soul Rupture. When Reaper's Mark explodes, it deals 20% of the damage dealt to nearby enemies and makes it so when we are the enemies that are hit by this do 5% less physical damage to us for 10 seconds. The rest of the tree has nodes that turn our abilities into Shadow Frost damage, base damage increases, or reduces cooldowns of a couple of abilities. We get a sweet defensive choice node of either Pact of the Deathbringer or Rune Carved Plates, which are both great. Overall, I really like this tree, and it's another winner for me. Our tier set is just a solid damage increase. 2 set buffs our Runic Power spinning abilities damage by 8%, and our 4 set gives us a chance to increase our strength by 10% for 8 seconds from consuming Runic Power. Simple, but a decent tier set for us. Mobility is about the same as before, so not the fastest class, but having a Death Steed with Rider of the Apocalypse does help out quite a bit. Utility is actually slightly better than before. We've got Anti-Magic Zone that's good in niche situations, Battle Res, Death Grip, which is still so nice, but the biggest and best change is actually Vestigial Shell in our class tree. Casting AMS will grant 2 nearby allies an AMS shield and reduces magic effects to them by 50%. Actually a game changer, and I've saved quite a few melees while using this on the beta. Our survivability is actually gross. DKs were already pretty tanky, but throw in AMS from Horseman at times, Wraithwalk on a 1-minute CD, Death Strike, and just the other defensive nodes in our hero talent trees, it's very hard to kill us at the moment. Overall, I think the devs killed it with Frost DK. It's one of the few classes, if not the only one, where I really love both of the hero talent trees, and they actually fit and complement a spec's playstyle and fantasy. Deathbringer is super fun. Adds an additional rotation ability, it's a great damage increase, and you get to summon giant scythes to cut through the souls of enemies. It's so cool. Rider of the Apocalypse is just one of the best things they could have added to Death Knight. The idea of being a rider and summoning the 4 horsemen to aid you in battle, buff you, and do a ton of damage is sick. Each of them feel impactful when summoned, although a couple of them more than others. I also love summoning a Death Steed for extra movement, or just being able to ride a freaking mountain combat out in the open world. Both trees are incredible. Very fun and well designed in my opinion. And honestly, DK moved up very, very high up on my list as a main this season because of them. Frost DK is a blast to play, has a high skill ceiling but relatively easy to pick up, looks so damn cool, and has some of the best class design in the War Within. If you're looking for a melee spec that is looking to be viable going in the first season, very tanky, has interesting hero talents, and a great community supporting the class, then you should 100% play Frost DK. I know I will be. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll have a lot more videos covering different specs and classes and more for the War Within, so hit that sub button and keep an eye out for those. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.